This is Irontrader. It is Thursday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold and silver, and at crude oil and natural gas. And we'll take a look here at the old NQ, which is up about 66 today. Now remember, the key today is going to be that CPI report at 8:30, and then we have the natural gas report, EIA report there at 10:30. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation of buy or selling stock market ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now let's take a little peek ski. Okay, now we can see here how nicely, just hang on one second here, let's see. Now, you can see here how nice this 8-day is. Okay, see how we're coming out of the downslide, then we leveled off, and now it looks like we're curling up, kind of a situation. And what we have here is a nice series of higher highs and higher lows going on. Okay, now you can see yesterday where we rallied up, went above the 21-day and right into that 50-day, but you notice that it closed below that 21-day. Okay, so this, I say, this is why you trade the charts. But we also held this 8-day, which is very, very nice. Now, so far, yesterday we made this high of 114,925. Today we made a high of 114,900. So far we have this inside day. So let's look at the downside first. Okay, 113,762. This is your 21-day. That's what it needs to hold. Right? Your next level is going to be 112,591. Okay, that's going to be very, very key. Then we look to yesterday's low. That's going to be also very, very crucial at 111,230. We'll go to the previous day, 111,15 level. Come down here to the bottom at 110,480, and then we have 109,720, and then we're going to come down here to this 109,253, which is your 100-day, and obviously we have your retest at 107. Okay, now when we look at this weekly chart, you can see here how we're really kind of like a pinball action here between the 21-day and that 8-day. Now, we have a possible, I'd say possible, a bear flag situation, but it's not really looking as good like it wants to really play out. It looks like it wants to crack above this 8-day and go higher. That's what it looks like. Okay, so this is what you want to watch by Friday is that 114,956. If you can get above that, then we can start hitting all our upside targets. Downside, you really want to hold this 21-day, but as the 21-day moves up, 8-day moves down, something's going to give. So it's going to pop up or she's going to pop right on down. Now, we look here at a 60 on a weekly. Well, that's got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red, but that can curl up here. Now, remember, it takes time because this is a weekly chart. But when you look at this chart, it's very, very bullish, bottom left, upper right kind of a situation. Now, what we're looking here for on the upside is we're looking for this 50-day. The 50-day is going to be everything, as obviously we can see. Yesterday went right into it, and it couldn't pop above, and then she closed below the 21-day. So this is what we're looking on the upside is 115,292. That's the key level. Now, if we get above all that, then we're going to be looking right to the bottom of this candle. That's your next resistance level. It's 116,295. Okay. Then what we do is we just venture right on up here. What do we got? You got 117,315, and then we have 117,640. Those are going to be your upside targets. Then we just keep rolling up 118,350. We come up to 119,810. We have 127,555. Always look to the left, 121,255. And then we have sticky here at 122,955. And then we have this 123,615 level. Okay. Now, we went just a little bit above that, 123,755. But this is your big target at that 125,200. We crack above that, you can head right for that 130, 135 level very easily. Okay. Now, the key is you have to get above that 50-day. But what I like about that, I say, is that 8-day is coming around. So eventually, as that 8-day rolls up, you'll cross that 21-day, which is very, very bullish, and you'll send that price higher. But just look at this. See how that nice a series of higher highs and higher lows, looking very, very nice. The key is going to be that 50-day. Now, I trade the BITX. That really works out very, very nicely. You can always do it if you want a one-to-one, IBIT. But I like the BITX. It gives you just a little bit more juice in the situation. All right, now we're sitting here only at 51. Plenty of room to run. Now look at here, okay, at the bottom, and now your green crossed over your red. That shows good momentum to the upside, and that's what we have. Okay, so for today, watch that 50-day, very, very crucial. Watch that 21-day. We lose that, then we have the 8-day. Okay, let's take a look here at gold and silver. Here we have gold and silver. Now, that CPI is going to be very, very important today. So make sure you keep your eye on that at 8:30. That's going to be very, very key. Okay? Then obviously we have the jobs number and all that kind of thing. Okay? But anyway, that's going to be key. Now, gold has had a really, really good run. But when you look at this overbought condition. Okay, it can stay overbought, absolutely, but it's only going to be a matter of time here before it does come off. Now your green is up your red, shows good momentum. However, you know what I'm saying, now we're trying to curl over a little bit. So let's just see how this all going to shake out. A lot of times when you look at that overbought, all you have to do is look to the left of the chart and see what happened, what the reaction is last time. See this? Boom. Okay, right down here, and then boom, sell right off. Not saying that's going to happen, but again, always anything that'll give you a kind of an edge situation. Now, on the downside, you can see here where it came right on down today, but it held that 8-day. That's why you trade the charts. But now what we have here, so we have that topping tail, and now we have a series of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so you got to always keep that in mind. Now, downside, 36.42. You really need to hold that key 8-day. Okay, that's going to be very, very critical. Okay, then when we come up here at top of that candle is 36.40. That's going to be your next level. Then we'll come right to the bottom of there. You're looking at 36.21, and then we follow the candles down. What we have there is 35.95 level. We'll come down there at 35.73. Then we want to look to the left of the chart here at that 35.34 level before we hit that 35.02. Okay, which is your 21-day, and then obviously we have your 50-day, and then we have the 100-day sitting right there. Okay, but 8-day is everything. I like to show you where it could possibly go, but as long as it holds at 8-day, we can have sideways action too. Now, upside, what you want to watch is today's high, 36.87, yesterday's high, 36.97, and then we want to watch that 37 flat. That's going to be the key, and then if we can get above that, then we can retest that 37.15. Okay, this throws a lot of people off because what it does, they say, the breakout is 37.15, and it is, and also it isn't. Okay, so that's what you have to be just a little bit careful about, because the key is closing. Okay, closing above the 3,700. Okay, this didn't close above 3,700. Okay, so when we closed here, you closed at 36.77. When we closed there, 36.63. Okay, we closed there 36.80, and then so far we got 36.59. Okay, so that 3,700 is very, very crucial. Then if you get above, then we got 37.50. Then you work your way to 37.50 and all the way to 3,800, maybe even 3,820. Again, but that's where it could possibly go. But we are at this kind of a condition, so always remember that. So for today, this is what we're watching. We're watching yesterday's high, that 36.97 level, 37 flat, and 37.15. On the downside, this 8-day is everything. Okay, so if we lose that, we just follow the candles down until we find a support. Okay, silver. Let's see here. Now, negative divergence going on here. Okay, now she's selling right on off. Not selling, really selling off, but you can see the down situation here. Okay, so this is what we have to hold, is this 41.60. That's going to be very crucial. We lose that, you're going to come to yesterday's low at that 41.14 low. Okay, then what we do is we'll come right to the top of that candle, 40.86. We'll come to the bottom there at that 40.55. Then we're going to be looking right to the left of the chart here, okay, at that 39.91 level. And then we're going to come right here to your 39.74. And then we can come to the bottom, top of that candle again at 39.57 and work your way down to the 50-day. But we got sideways action, okay? And that's consolidation. So that doesn't mean that it can't crack right back up again. But the key what you're watching is this 42 level, okay? Just like you're watching here to 37, this is what we're watching is the 42 level. Now, did we get higher than that? Yes, we did, 42.29. Did we get higher than that over here? 42.35. But if you look at these candles, where did it close? 41.73, 41.18, 81, 41.34. See, if you just take all these candles, nothing closed above that 42 level. That's the key. So you want to go above 42. Once you get that, then we have your breakout here at 42.35. You crack that, then obviously you're going to go 43. You're going to head for that 45 area. But again, you got to be a little bit patient with this. So for me, I don't have any trades on in gold and silver. I trade GLD for the gold, SLV for the silver. But I'm waiting here until the CPI report comes out. And then we got to see how this is all going to shake out. Because a lot of times you can just have a sideways consolidation here. As long as we hold that 8-day. Okay, same way here, sideways consolidation. Just because we have this doesn't mean it's going to sell down. This here could break right on up just as easy. Okay, so always remember that. But again, watch the 42 area on that. Very, very critical. And watch the 3,700 on that. All right, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Here we have crude oil. Okay, now OPEC had their meeting, and they're going to add 137,000 barrels come October. Right now, they're putting on 541,000 barrels. Okay, now the meeting is going to be on October 5th, so we got to see, run up to that meeting if they're going to change their or whatever it's going to be. Now, again, hurricane season has been pretty mild so far this year. Okay, we had a couple hurricanes, but they never come into the Gulf. Once you come into that Gulf, you shut down platforms, you shut down ports. That's oil, that's natural gas, that's gasoline. That's a big effect. Plus, summer driving is pretty much over with now kids are back in school, and things are a lot slower. Okay, so you can see here in the EIA report yesterday that you had starting to have builds now in the crude. Now the market is very well supplied, I should say. Okay, so again, I think oil eventually will be down in the 50s here by the end of the year, but we got to see. That's why we trade the charts. Now, we had almost like a bear flag situation. If you put those all these candles together, and it rallied up here very, very nicely. But we did get above this 21-day and that 8-day, but you notice that it couldn't continue so far. Now, today we have this, what they call as an inside day. So what we're watching on the upside is we're watching at 63.41 and we're watching 63.36, your 8-day and your 21-day. Okay, that's very, very key. Now, we get above that, we go to yesterday's high at 64.08, and then we look for the 100-day at 64.42. Above that, we got the 65.22. We have the retest, 66.03, and then 67.14. Okay, one level at a time. But right now, we have this. We had a nice, good higher high and higher low situation going on here, and it could break that bear flag. But let's see it overall if it actually does. Okay, now downside, obviously, we want to watch yesterday's low, 62.72, then 62.37, 61.85, and there's your retest at 61.45. Then we got to see what happens. Okay, now we had this nice double bottom. See, 61.45. What do we have here? 61.45. Nice double bottom. Had a nice good rally up. But let's see how this all going to shake out here as far as the day goes. Okay, so now what we have is 46. Okay, that's not overbought, oversold. The green, this is just going sideways action. Now, if we lose that 61.45, all we do is look to the left of the chart, 61.06. We come down here, 60.55 level. We have 60.02, and then here's your big retest at 59.74. Okay, again, you have to lose on a closing basis that 61.45. Then we can come right down and start testing all these levels. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do today. Okay. So for today, what we're going to do, we're watching is just watching that 8-day and that 21-day, roughly around that 63.40 level. We get above that. Here's your target. Is going to be the 100-day, and then that 50-day. If we can get above that, is going to be very crucial for the simple reason is look what happened in the past. Okay, shot up, but it couldn't close above it. Okay, couldn't close above it, and then came right on down. Okay, so that's going to be very, very strong. So always look to the left of the chart and say, hey, see what happened the last time it got up there. All right. So if we come down here, we test that 61.45 level, then we have to see what the reaction is. Does it bounce off and come right back up here, or does it close below and then we go lower? Okay, so be a little bit patient. All right, two-way trade, I should say. I use UCO for the long, SCO for the short. Seem to be working out very, very nicely. Okay, here we have natural gas. Now, natural gas is coming into the zone. Now, what we had is we had a really nice good run up. We gapped up, had a really nice good run up, but you notice that 50-day, look how strong that is, okay? We went into it, went above it, couldn't hold it, above it, couldn't hold it. Same way here yesterday, and then down, right? So now upside, got strong resistance. We got the 8-day, 305, and you got the 50-day at 309. We get above that, we go to yesterday's high. You're looking at roughly 311. Then we come up here, 316, and then we have your 319. You crack above that, you got your 100-day at 329, and then we have your 200-day right there. Okay, but right now we're stuck below that 8-day and that 50-day, and you can see how strong that 50-day is on resistance. So you trade into it, okay, unless it starts breaking up and closing above. This two candles, even though we're above, you never closed above. Okay, that's the thing. Now on the downside here, we got a low today of 3 flat. So what we're really looking for here is your next level is going to be right down here at 296. Then we come up to your 21-day at 291. We lose that. We come right here at 286. 277 is your gap. 274 is your fill. 265, and then your retest at 262. All right? Very, very simple. Now, 52, that's not overbought, oversold. The green is over your red, but we're sitting way at the bottom situation here, underneath all of this. Okay, so just be a little bit patient here. But I think Natgas is coming into his own. I'm starting to build a position slowly. I trade this every day with UNG for the long, KLD for the short, but I haven't been trading the short and not in this time frame. I'm just scalping out of the long position. Okay, let's take a look here now at the NQ. All right, here we have the NQ. This is actually just the NASDAQ futures. Okay, they're all these charts look the same if you're trading the S&P or trading the Dow. So you can see here how nice, wow, we're still holding the key 8 day. Okay, so this is going to be what we're watching right there. Okay, 23,710, 8 day. And then we have 23,645, your 21 day. And then we have the old 50 day at 23,43. Then we have your retest at 22.25. And then this will be key right here at this bottom here, 22,775 flat. We lose that, you're going to come to the 100 day and possibly down to the 200 SMA. Now, upside, you can see yesterday we tagged, got as high as 24.44. So we're getting close to that 24.68. Okay. Now, Oracle had a big day. It looks like it's up another 1% there today. But again, if you're into Oracle, I would sell a little bit and wait for a little pullback because all it is just gapped up. And those gaps usually never, they create like an island situation. And when they come off really, really hard. But what's really working good today is that NVIDIA, my TQQ, Crude basket, that's working good. Amazon's working good. Meta, Microsoft, Apple, all the tech plays looks like they want to go higher. However, just be careful in this time frame. This is for me is a trader's market. So what you're looking for on the upside is 24.68. We crack above it, and then we can go, 24.1, 24.2. You can go all the way to 25,000. Okay, just that simple. All right. So again, this is a trader's market. This was the buy and hold market. Now we look at the RSI. We're only sitting at 60, so you do have plenty of room. You do have room to run. We're just kind of shaking out, and we're holding that 50-day very nice. But again, just be careful in this time frame until we get out of September and that first week or so of October. A nice little pullback would be nice. Then we could take it long into the end of the year. But again, that's not how it works. We have to trade what's in front of us. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after the old pit close. Not pit close, I mean midday trading. Okay, we'll come midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks. And we'll see what's going on here. But remember, just pay attention to that CPI report today at 8:30. That's going to be the market mover in both directions. Now, yesterday we had the PPI. And remember, we had a strong rally off that PPI. But then it pulled right back in again here. Okay, so a lot of times, it's not the news that matters. It's the reaction to it. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.